Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hey, hopefully we got some more people filling in, but welcome to Dark Stages. My
Yes.
name is Erica Petty Saunders. I am the wife of Eric Saunders. And his co was that for him or me? Yeah! I am the other co-founder of Stages and Pages. So when you came in, you should have gotten a one-pager just that offers up the mission of what we are trying to achieve. So Dark Stages is the beginning of something much larger than either one of us could ever imagine. That's what we speak into existence.
Amen.
So I'll share a story with you. I don't, and if you're not Bible readers, you don't believe in the word. It's all I'm made up right now. So there was a dream. I've been praying so hard for my purpose, and I wanted to know what it was God was leading me to. I do affordable housing. I write. I do a lot of things. What is my purpose? What am I supposed to be here for? And one night, in real life, our house was under construction, and one night I had this dream, and the entire back part of my house opened up into like a outdoor stage. And when I turned around, it was an auditorium filled with seats, and we were preparing for Eric's show. And it all just kind of came together, and I woke up like, what is this? And it really was, it was a beautiful dream. And so I asked God, I said, give me a word, give me something to understand this. And he said, Proverbs 31. And so we always it's a good thing. He done founded me, he found a good thing. But then I got really reading Proverbs 31, and this was what God put in my spirit. He said, 31:6, she considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously, and her arms are strong for her task. And there's other things that go on to say it's beyond just being a good thing. It's what are you to your family? And I will tell y'all, it's so humbling to seek your purpose and find out that it revolves around someone else. But I humbly receive it, and Stages and Pages started to be built. Now, Stages and Pages existed probably a couple years ago. It just had a different name, and we clashed a little bit about what it would do, what it would speak. And as Eric continued on his journey of healing, and this was even before, as most of you know, the most tragic of losing his father to violence, is that there were so many pieces that he could build off, that he had a story to tell, that he needed to overcome, he needed to heal. And when the situation did happen with Victor, I prayed, I was like, Lord, tell me what I'm supposed to do in this time. Because I didn't want to be the one to say, always asking, are you okay? Always, trying to nudge him to a place that he wasn't. And what I've learned in going through this process is that pain and loss is universal. Grief is personal. How that person heals is what they possess, and not any one person can bring them to that point. And I made a point, we use a lot, fake it till you make it. But in some instances, it can break you. And so as we are on this journey, I encourage you all to receive the message that he is giving, that is so personal to where he is in his life. And there's times when people say, okay, they say it to make us feel better. And so we're relieved because they say they're all right. Truth is, they're still broken. And so it's our job to let them guide us on where we need to be in their position of healing. So in saying that, ladies and gentlemen, Dark Stages.
Motherhood doesn't always start with warm thoughts, love, and excitement. Sometimes it's fear, anxiety, anger. Then there's one common thought. This thought is universal. No deviation across all cultures. That's the thought of acceptance. Whatever path you take at the fork in the road, you accept that you're pregnant. acceptance. The thought of being 16 and there's a life inside of me and accepting it, that took my breath away. So in an effort to breathe, I denied to the world and myself that there was a life growing inside of me. The funny thing about denying a pregnancy is that time is ticking against all decisions. The decision of denial has a real revelation. 16-year-old frame filling out to the point of my mistakes. It's easier to hide in colder seasons. It's warming up soon.
Alone in a room, it's just me and you. I feel so lost, 'cause I don't know what to do. Now what if I choose the wrong thing to do? I'm so afraid of disappointing you, so I need to talk to you and ask you for your guidance, especially today when my life is so cloudy. Guide me until I'm sure I open my heart. Oh, yeah.
I come from a town where the grass is brown and the trees fall down on their own. Stoplights don't work. The police are jerks. And the walls are crumbling down. This poem pertains to privilege, wealth, birthright, hope, vision in spite of hardships in life, eyesight, foresight, insight, the darkness of the womb for which light peers night. You see, the moment you first forgot was the first breath of air consumed. Beginning in a hospital delivery room, alley, street, or restroom, babies born within the womb. But babies buried within a tube for a tomb. Babies born high. First cry be the first hello, goodbye to a life gone too soon. And those born as joy in the morning and make it to the afternoon have inhaled this life with breath equivalent to a silver spoon. Sounds a lot like you. You may have been scarred or hurt so deep beneath, but the fact that you can breathe is the first tool you need to develop a dream to reach. Barriers are possible to breach, whether your silver spoons have been tarred and tickled by the teeth of hate and hopelessness, screaming effortlessly to this world, woe is me! Claiming that there is no opportunity. Well, in the midst of opposition, there was always opportunity. Life itself is rubber tough, and for many, there is no immunity, like those that have dived in the decadence of their own disaster, now decorated in death. Yeah. How you supposed to breathe with no air? And so the fact that the fight for breath in the beginning gives us the capability to even take a pitch at potential. So hit the ball out of the park with the essential parts of your hearts, and because circumstance will dance always like weeds and weed in the gap. Silver spoons sit on top of tongues, letting the breath flow. Yes, Generations lose the sanities of their minds and let go after growing and gravitating to the perceptions of what they've been born to. But this is not a poem to justify anything that evil has placed itself its hands on, but of the fields of possibilities that broken folks have fought to dance on. Life is circumstance, born of circumstance, and we got born between the mix that got mixed, equipped with skin and breath to leave this world better fixed than it was before we got here. But there are too many minds in this day and time that are not here, complaining, whining. While you got children all over the world digging through trash cans, and that's if they're lucky or if they're able. Please connect to this piece like cable. I speak freely tonight. And I declare that life is a privilege, and life is a right, and silver spoon's not a term coined for the wealthy, but a sign we are all born to wealth itself. Life is the place where you learn to help yourself, but gratitude becomes an attitude tossed in the shells, shining on murdered, pregnant, sedan mothers tossed in wells, and we can't help these young bamboozle dudes entertaining for sales. These young prostituted young ladies with no profit in the sex sales and sales, kids limited to project walls, institutionalized to 3 concrete bars and walls, only responding when to eat, sleep, shit, and piss. And TV don't help these kids locate where their true vision is. Guys, we weren't created to fail. Created like shiny silver spoons and made to excel, adapt, adjust, assimilate. But doing what's hard and right has been the opponent in this life for which we fight. Environments dictate face of generations doing wrong, and doing right becomes wrong. And in the end, we singing the same old song affiliated to I can't. With tons of excuses. So, I don't know your situations or complications, but I assure you it's not sent here to be useless. Be grateful for your breath. Take more time to breathe deeply outside of a doctor's request. Run this land with silver spoon in hand and make change happen. Quit frowning so much and start laughing, because I've been asking, and I've been literally asking those dead in the cemetery. And they say, live hard, love fearlessly, seek joy. With each breath you got left, inhale. Exhale. And make this life your only shot at life worth your why. So even up to this very moment, I really don't know what this is.
Okay, we here.
Yeah, we here.
Right.
We here.
But I know you all know who I am. And that you come to learn me a little bit more, because there's knowing people and there's thinking that you knowing people. And this is my manifesto, but this is also my proclamation. Is the problem is when you think you know people, that's when somebody's ass tends to get. Give people grace. Considering the grace that has been bestowed onto you. So, I'm grateful for my breath. I was born to 2 teenage parents. I don't know how they did it. I don't know where they did it. I ain't asked. I just know that it got done. But it did take yes, sir. It did take about 8 months, I heard, for me to be officially announced to the world. So if I say anything tonight that is offensive to you or is in bad taste to you, please keep in mind, give me grace. I wasn't on no prenatal pills.
Good excuse.
I ain't had no doctor visits. Wasn't that one of them little pictures that you see? It just didn't happen. But how it happened is low-key biblical. You know, I don't even think I was breastfed. Was it just formula? But
Regular milk.
regular milk. But growing up, I would spend time over my grandmother's house, my great grandmother. Mae Freeman. She taught me how to fish. She taught me how to drive. She taught me how to make the banana pudding in the family. She taught me respect. She taught me God. And she taught me discipline. She did it with a strong hand and a switch.
That you had to go get?
I would go get the switch, only to find that switch was too small, and that she had anticipated it in her wisdom, a small switch coming. The game had already been played, so she already had her size switch waiting. And I remember one time, his grandmother, she called my name, Ed. And it sound like egg. Ed. Yeah, damn, I know that boy hit me. Ed. What? Man, listen. I'm still alive, but what happened was, and if for those who've been over Ruckle, all you gotta do is take a step and stuff starts shaking. I'm sitting here and I was sitting there in the room with her three-legged cat, I believe. And next thing I heard was, next thing you know, the glasses started shaking. Water started moving like Jurassic Park. I said, oh, that's kind of close. As I turned around, before I could get my head fully around, my lips was already smacked to the front, like a little 360 or something. And that literally knocked some sense into me, because I've not said what to nobody like that since. That's just apple juice inside. But it did, I miss her cooking, man. You know what I'm talking about. Got a chef here. I remember it was like Grandma was in the kitchen fixing chicken, collard greens, and cornbread. Grandma was in the kitchen fixing collard greens and cornbread in the good old days. Pre-internet. Emails, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and touchscreens became addictions. Playing cards, bid whist, dad, spades, climbing trees, hide and go seek, 1-versus-1 baseball games, backyard basketball on dirt with milk crates, nailed on trees and alley poles, bikes we learned to ride for the thrill. The imagination we would build listening to songs on boom boxes. We figured out how to record the radio on and our demos on. Corner stoves, candy stoves outside of somebody's home. Yo mama, yo daddy, and welfare jokes led to playground and school fights back when wires on the phone stretched all throughout the home. Saturdays were for cartoons and cleaning. Anita Baker and B.B. King all day long. My mother's taught me right from wrong. Get started with a voice tone that belt, shoe, or hanger what was close. It's true. This is what they use. Do as you were told, and it was not a choice. No talking back, let alone argue. So I would cry myself asleep with cuss words I was never supposed to know. Screamed them inside the pillows, of course. Good old days when red Kool-Aid tastes so sweet with the now later stash under my bed. Hyper, boom, that got knocked on my head acting like a baboon. Good old days where a dream swam freely like we did in steamy summers. And all day tonight we would run under the sun. Back when Jonah was fun, and it was the dozens for some. This was proof we all adored pain and endured hell. Relax, breathe, count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. When I thought finna was one word. Watching cars on East 38th Street show off and swerve and show off at the skating rinks. How we could collectively sing songs, had fun when we knock on doors and start running. Where the lines weren't so blurred from right from wrong. Before secrets came out after funerals. I hit on my mother's last nerves, asking about my clothes that were 3 to 6 months on layaway. Understand how tax checks made me think mama was paid. House birthday parties for cousins, sisters, and brothers. Back when it seemed like everyone enjoyed each other. At least to when the alcohol was set in and forehead heads became wet and with sweat, and somebody got to talking that shit real quick, like a tongue made of just backyard barbecues that last all day. So many times I wake on Saturdays and would ask my grandmother if we was gonna go party today, and it was yes or no or we on our way. And I was like, dang, let's get it. What I remember as a kid is we on our way led to basement parties that made nighttime feel like an eternity. Eternity made with red lights and music. Music made with soul. Soul made with love, ice, glasses, coolers of beer, all the alcohol chasers, no chasers. Food, so much damn food. Get bread and ribs bones for my dog, please. Foods and reefer and ashes, smoke and mirrors and steps me and my sister would sneak and watch and learn from. We weren't dumb. We were learning where we came from. Good old days. When it seemed we were collectively proud. Beyond each generation developing a sense of style. Good old days when fights meant just that. Where it not seem like so many strings attached. Watching cats shoot craps. Watching my mother do hair and comb my naps. Barbershops felt like traps for men who travel life with no maps. Only to come back to talk about this and that. When life felt innocent. Even when death came to relieve. And how we could all get together after the funeral to reprieve. And we grew and we grew and we grew like grandma's garden and started planting seeds. Went from splashing water in puddles to traveling across the seas. Got too loose to the fire and some got burnt in the trials of birds and bees. Some have lost their minds in the smoke of burning leaves. We don't often reflect on the fact that we are the dreams dreamed for the minds of ancestors. Good old days. The place where I go once in a while, if only to remember how to smile. I smile in the memories made by family who have kissed the skies. I remember the smiles and the memories from the glimpses in their eyes. My interpretation of living came from the love in the form of family and friends that God has been given. Good old days when my grandma made fried chicken before fishing trips. I mean, we was going like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, man. Good old days like how nobody has made a better peach cobbler since she has been gone. Good old days when she would look between her bed to get her half pint of bumpy face shooting off her little 22 off for New Year's Eve at 8, and how she taught me how to hold it a particular way. Then waking up and having breakfast and food on my plate and some coffee too. Wood burning furnaces. Go to church all morning and afternoon. Easter egg hunts, red string, bologna, and cheese crackers for lunch. Good old days with Grandma May. And every other loved one of mine that has passed away. Even now, I go back for a while for a smile. Just a peek. Remembering where I came from in the good old days. So I can tell my kids how it used to be.
Come on.
Yes.
May Freeman.
May Freeman.
You know, I would joke a lot with my grandmother, great grandmother. And a lot of time, you know, the interesting thing is the final joke was on me. Mute your phone. And I know somebody got a Motorola, so you need to be ashamed of yourself. I can tell from the ring that tone, that's family. Hello. But she died on my 21st birthday. And then she, to keep the joke going, she reincarnated herself as my third child. May Freeman face.
Yes.
And as a kid, you know, I had to learn different environments, always kind of adjusting, you know. But I'm grateful that I got something you probably can finish. I got home.
Training.
Okay, good. I'm seeing who's ready. But I got home training. And because my grandmother, my mother's mother, would say that I wasn't bad. I just had bad ways. So I was burning beds, driving cars at 4. My uncle saved me that day from like a worse whooping. Grandma, please don't hit him no more. Just
Stop.
kicking men in the testicles. That was up in Chicago. Faking injuries. And I even set my god sister's hair on fire at church. I did that on purpose to say that because I know this is being recorded and she's been waiting years for me to finally confess. So this has now become a confessional. But it was, I don't think I was bad. I just, I was rebellious. Very, very rebellious. This is the place where my purpose is known. It tightens my chest with screams and groans. Been dwelling since 82. Home sweet home. In my mother's belly, cooped down below, waiting for my bravery to explode. And it's endured the wicked-minded impurities of this world. Been waiting and waiting for the time to attack. Now on track, it won't look back. You will feel the lash when my head tilts back. Out from my mouth comes a hand holding a flame atop a pulsating torch. That's the moment to brace yourself for my silent rebellion to break forth. Spit drips from my words. My tongue tips the scales of lightning, combined with wonders like thunder, develops frightening storms. And it's ready to break the rules of a man-made world. For people too poor for status, and that is every social hierarchy, like mobsters down to gangsters to pimps, Congress to Senate to presidents, women to ladies to girls, the merchants of diamonds, gold, and pearls, the owner, the leasers, the buyers of rent, the bourgeoisie, woefully content, the artist, the reader, to a heart from a poet that spits, lay common in thought of a world of unreadiness. In this time, I've been combined with the minds of Garvey, Malcolm, Du Bois, Turner, Billy, Hampton, Dizzy, Chicken George, Emmett, Martin, Rosa, Ella, Ali, Langston, Maury, Etheridge, John, Gregory, Mari, Brianna, Tamir, Eric, George, etc., 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 etc. All hearing the word of the later murdered, raped, beaten, molested, scarred, homeless, wrongfully arrested, gets in through my tears and becomes digested with no breakdown of substance ingested. Straight to the feeding tubes it's invested to my mind, my mind, heart, and soul for breakfast. Yes, this is the silent part of my heart where the core of my grit is. Where hurt builds muscle and intelligence and wit is. A servant lay inside. There's no moment to quit here. We don't forget here. The flame is lit here. Every raw emotion from hate to joy submits here. Even fear gets a chance to hit here, but my courage grows like endless roads and spits cheers. So laced with grace it splits fears. So you beware the haze of the fog before me. That'll be a sign of a man become one from three like Trinity. That'll be a sign of a mighty artillery too long covered in dirt and humility. Developing the strike of the rebellion of my eternal shine. This is mine. And there is no better time to break forward. Yeah. Think about what you guys got to go through, and talk about giving grace. You know, when I was about between 7 and 11, man, it just seemed like things just kept shifting. You know, and I'm just going through these pictures. Prom picture. Kim. Uncle Billy, mama. Mae Freeman, that's Uncle Billy. Montreal. Go Dana. E. Marie. Father Tony. But it was the losing of people. Uncle Paul, Uncle Butch. There was something about with Kevin Cook. Kevin Cook, man. I didn't know how important he was. And he would flick me would stay on me. And then he was gone. Help me. Even at a young age, he held me to a standard
Sit in
about how I stand by my family.
it. Sit in
And that's what kind of anchors me to this day. I watched how it impact my grandmother, my great-grandmother. I watched how it impact my uncle. Oh, my uncle, man. My hero.
We got you. Come on. You there.
And it was something about me just adapting. Got dark. May, Mother's Day, 1994. My mother lay on a hospital bed. Tubes injected all through her arm, staples zipped across her forehead. With a 10-year-old mind, first time aneurysm crossed mine, let alone finding out it can kill you from within. My mother did not die then. Became the 1% that survived when the 99% have a ship of death to fly in. Imagine the world and the size when this all collides in a fifth grader's mind when stressed of making at least B's in math and science. I do believe that was the day my heart was hardened to loner ways. Just a year before I was moved away in survival mode, up my mind was made. Even then, an affirmation that motivated me to see life with more foresight. Young integrity to ignore wrong and to do more right. Ignite passion. Prosper with sheer will and bravery. Shackles broken, mind elevated to be more than slavery. So it amazes me. Look at me. Look through me. And don't stare lazily. Don't prepare questions to ask. Look beyond these masks. Do you even see a dark child? A weed wild with crooked foundation and listens with fear. Fear of the unknown and its borders. Fear of responsibilities. Fear to fail to be responsible. Consider it was me and baby bro at the hospital. Got a little dark that day. Became comforted by silence, cold and mellow. Interesting, melancholy tastes like a Maracana. A teddy bear and tears on my pillow, a bit of woe is me was seated. Now, having such pride and such a pain is such a destructive way to be conceited. Started off small with my age, realized over time begins to feed it. Dark child never faded, but subconsciously feasted. Attached to the back, using my organs to eat with and legs to walk on. Speaks directly to my desire before needing a tongue to talk on. Hard to walk on clouds when backs grow rooted into the ground. Trees can only go so far up, and I've worked so hard to work so far away from my full potential. To stepping back and forth and back, this dark child on my back looks down deeper into the ground, found in foundations of greed, lust, pride, avarice, vanity, wrath, eats with gluttonous content, comfortable with working with nothing that Mr. Saunders needs to be something. I was 28 when I first started writing this poem. And now, I'm 40. To re-intertwine into now, a husband now, a father now, where I'm embracing a gift that needs cultivation. And up until this day, I've mastered my day-to-day, wiggling within the ways of righteousness and the wages of sin. Got a force within that gets dizzy from running from the forces of self-made enemies that have kept me down, who I know systemically will shut down, drown, bow down, the instant Mr. Saunders rises from the ground, God-given and poetically dripping. Declaration that I'm coming to get my divine crown. No fake teeth. Who knows me? But this darkness deep Beneath this dark child growing strong, but with gentle recklessness through the process of becoming weak each and every week, reek of each pornographic peak, each drive and drink, each bask in the ambiance of weed for Greek, each moment to cheat, 12 o'clock ice cream and meat leads to clogged arteries, jealousy for those that actually live life and take pride in these lies, rocking back and forth. Back and forth, angry as if this is not the day I die or submit to suicide. Dark child been building this growth since that last day of 94 of hurt and hope, lodged in the hurt, stuck in curiosity of mediocrity to soothe it, effective abuse in this repetitive music, prolonged positions in time, ready to corner man's towel to be tossed to lose it. Dragging me to the brink of death, reaching for the tip of edge of my last breath. This all nestles itself in the webs of my mind's complex. But then I realized that it's because of the 1% left that I hope still progress. Firmly, I believe I'm still here because of God's grace and mercy.
Amen.
Be strong now in the midst of self-infliction. This gift has been waiting. Tired of situations, buying tickets to be wicked, sitting and time is only ticking before fully embracing God's permission to take steps across dimensions, stronger than I ever imagined with a dark child's division. This time to fly high, man, do something different.
Right.
We see too many loved ones come within inches of setting their souls to a death-long slave sentence. So I left forth free as my intention. Particular methods to ravel in vengeance. Mouth open, fist clenching, heart loving, ears listen, mind, soul connected to intergalactic perception, immortal motivation to strike the injustice of insurrections. I'm not giving up. I'm my mother's child. I can't quit. I'm my father's wit. With faith the size of a mustard seed, I say, dark child in me, you've lived your dreams with venomous ambition. Option A is to concede. But since I know you hard-headed and don't listen, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. You got to go quick like cheddar biscuits in the first 5 minutes of Red Lobster. I can't masquerade with you no more around town. Yep, I'm still my brother's keeper, but it's about to get gangster now. Lay down or get down. The 1% of life I've seen now controls the 99% adversary of self-destruction. With you, without you, I can't function. And this decree has been read off. So don't call CPS or 911. Just turn away if you're too afraid to witness me. Cut this dark child's head clean off. After that went down, man, I found some stability. About 10, 11 years old. Good friends, good brothers. Moved in with my grandfather, and he had remarried, and he got a stepchild now. And I kind of felt like I knew him, but still part of me felt like Squeak from The Color Purple. Like, who these people? What is this remarriage? I didn't know how to, his wife, I call her mom now, but I couldn't bring myself to call her mom then. I felt alone, when I moved in. One minute I'm here, the next minute I'm being told this is the situation. First night I just laid in the bed and I just laid in the bed in shock. And then my uncle, brother, step, cousin, best friend, blood brother, and I mean needle, blood, here you go. Gave me a teddy bear. And he gets on my nerves sometimes. I might as well. No. But that day he found his place in a place in my heart that was only fitted for him. But I still felt something. Like, your soul won't sing last. Red eyes seem so sad. Tell me, why do you have so much dark in your heart with light in your hand? Question burns like brandy, poured over a fresh frat brandy. Oh, missing starts landing on my lane of misunderstanding. And to attempt to answer it burns like the balance of a tip of a lit candlestick, like back that never forgets when flesh splits to whip. Such a particular perspective to be lonely. Then as for me, got the nerve to feel like a functional catastrophe. Such a particular perspective to be lonely, so much that believers will call it blasphemy, condone me. A dual-minded menace made of magic, they probably stole me for my actions or the lack thereof. Daily, I feel like the sun within the dove that can't die enough to be worthy of love. I've fallen and I can get up, but I don't know if I want to command the core, the matador, the bull, because I don't know what I'm standing for. Don't want to get knocked down. So I lay my face down to the floor and get real familiar with the ground instead of getting punched in the head and cycles repeated. Forget this, I forfeit, I'm defeated. Before I can throw a punch or take a punch to see if I can take a punch and keep standing. To keep a smiling grit while the punches keep landing. To keep a floating spirit while my spirit keeps dancing. Floating like a butterfly and being more than a man, a Peter Pan, purging past my pain in a helicopter fan. Now I don't know if I'm a blessing or a burden to my fan. And your soul won't sing last. Red eyes seem so sad. Tell me, why do you have so much dark in your heart with light in your hands? The light in my hand is the light that I hold. This light represents the greatest story to be told. For God so loved the world, he gave his son for sins to be exposed, because every tempted man don't got it in him to say no. Speaking rosaries for these babies that die before they get a chance to grow. Sends melancholy to my soul. Makes me wonder more of the quadratics of Reaper's soul. Every year I need to go to God as if they don't already know. It's the same repentance and apologies for disobedience demonstrated in the disorder of modern ideologies, meaning I challenge often the foundations of the elders, but never find enough balance and aim for me to reach towards. It's work for you to want more. You can't just eat and not at least sweep floors.
Come on.
Sharing drinks and blowing trees with desires who seek to disease the purpose in the word that you got claps in your hands on your knees, please. And I mean, nigga, please. Word you can't understand with your many degrees and status, but that is a focus on the flesh. Now, B.I.G. said it best, life or death, and your soul won't sing last. Red eyes seem so sad. Tell me, why do you have so much dark in your heart with light in your hand? I suggest we invest on internal factors, as if that's not what matters. Trust me when I say you can only smile for a little while. Might as well grin as big as a little child, because right now something vile is on the prowl, just waiting to take your day and turn it upside down. Makes you flood your pillows when the tears hit your eyes. More than once or twice you contemplated suicide. Hide the wrath and pride and out and in collide. This just in on Channel 5, victim of homicide. So sad, but you're not surprised. For those that you know, for those that you don't, death has numbed your cries. Stagnant becomes your days and calls, not sing for crowd's applause, and live life like you mean it. Better days are coming soon, and you believe that because you've seen it on the poet's notepad, whose words spoke back to the questions you have in your forehead, mind, spine, and back. About life, God, death, and those who are never coming back. About how you tiptoe life with lack, as if you could pay time back. As if J's make you think you can retire, switch game, and then come back. And mountains of thought lay flames to heal your mental gaps. And your spiritual past wants redemption for all your my bads. You hear messages daily pulsating, rotating, and claiming your centrally located lab. Then out from your ears from within is the truth you never had. And your soul won't sing lies. Red eyes sing so sad. Tell me why do you have so much dark in your heart with light in your hand? I really miss my granddad, man.
Yes.
Killer Dan. Daniel Saunders. Junior. Hey.
Where your knee brace? Where your knee brace?
Hey man, can you trying to umpire? I got games that, hold on, wait a minute, let me get 8, 11, 1, 4. Can you do all them games? Man, he taught us how to joke. He taught us how to roast. He told me, I'll never forget it one time. He said, I'm laughing, but I ain't tickled. He had. Yeah. This don't concern you, Rocky. He had this truck. He keeps some trucks, man. And because that's why I said I don't work for Integrity Moving Service. Hey, DJ, you get that free plug, though. How about that? Holla at Integrity Moving Service, the best moving service in town. Don't say I never did nothing for y'all. Amen.
Amen.
But my grandfather had a truck, so I was on the first moving team. Me, Josh, Rock. Then we built David into it. Anybody, Ricky, probably before me, J Ball, anybody just pull up on Hillside. Y'all trying to do a moving job real quick? You go around the corner, hey man, you got $5, I need some gas. I get right back to you. I'm gonna take that. That's all you got? Oh, come on. Taught me so much, man. Stayed on the move. It was, like I said, man, watch how you talk to people. Because there's a lot of people that ain't got no mind to think with. Unfortunately, some people have Alzheimer's, and that's serious. And you got other people out here just plain stupid. I began to document my time with my grandfather. 12, 16, 13. Brought 2 sausage biscuits. 12, 17, 13, cut hair. Told me Bright House was cut back on. Dirty pants and belt, but alert to Bright House was cut back on. Paces lost. Reluctant to help me sort meds, med box and braille. Needs a new 2 different blood pressure pills. Some lady gave him a different one, L20 and L25. No mesopersopine in the pill bottle. 1 hydrocodone pill left. 12, 18, 13, sold truck for $400 to Big Red Towing. Have a receipt for it, $250 and $150 after title. 12, 23, 13, went to Kroger's to pay AT&T bill. Shopping, got pancakes, syrup, and water. Debit card would not work, did not believe me. And then it registered to him that his debit card did not work. Tried to get gift cards at McDonald's for Christmas. Talked to Aunt Penny, she suggested POA. Later called insisting that I that I take him back to McDonald's. 12/25/13. Spent time with family for Christmas. Shared his gift and opened his. Took him back home. 12/31/13. Returned back from home out of town. Took him to McDonald's. Lisa came and took him to go to get his medicine. The Dolapine refill with a $158 copay. 1/3/13 took Daddy to the bank, grocery store, McDonald's, and back home. 1/4/13 picked Daniel up with my wife, child, went to dollar store, gas station, McDonald's, grandmother's house, and then back home. 1/19/13, days after the ice storm, had food to eat, took him to McDonald's to get food. He won some money. Knows that he can win some money. Wanted to go to the dollar store. I said no. Told me that he missed an appointment for his recertification with Mount Zion Apartments. Read the letter. His rent could possibly be raised. Have to strongly consider assisted living. I was aggravated because I wanted to go home and he would not get out. In the housing situation, it's like it was one more thing and it was just frustrating. Look up assisted living home. 1/31/13, took McDonald's. Got food set up through Sequoia. 2/26/15. Daddy went to Dr. Sachs. Lisa, Eric, Chris, Quentin, Dr. Sachs were in attendance for Daniel. It was discussed that this level was at a 9, which indicates that he should not be living alone. The family should seek strict supervision options. The hurdle is now getting him back on Medicaid. Lisa and Erica both have waivers that permit them to speak on his behalf to Medicaid. I took him home and to McDonald's. He asked and whined to me to go to church on this Sunday, and I tried to respectfully decline, but he was not trying to hear it. He kept trying to form a response to my questions of why he wanted me to go. He kept saying, some guy, some guy, food. And I saw him look off and his hand begin to tremble. I can only anticipate what he was going to say because he never got around to actually saying it. But he finished it with a sharp look at me and he would say, okay. I've grown bold now, but more so like a new lion primed enough to know the old lion is no longer fit to battle.
Come on.
No longer able to regard his life as if he's locked in one dimension, one perspective of death. It will come as it comes, of course, but how far death goes to lurk around the corner to those dealing with Alzheimer's disease. I think about how it has stressed me out and how negative it makes me feel. Straight up hideous to wish death on somebody who probably wishes death upon themselves. But even though no one wants to watch a wounded animal suffer, it can be troublesome to learn that perspective alone. No one story is the same. Could it be that it is beauty in the struggle, that there's a blessing of the process? I guess death is just chilling somewhere, looking at me from afar, talking about how he ain't new to this, but how he true to this. Amazing how the truth is to say it'll set you free. Free. Well, now we all have to be there to make him comfortable as possible, that is healthy and compassionate. He deserves this, and there's no longer anything to be in denial about. If my daddy does not have Alzheimer's, then maybe something still has to be done about his affection to McDonald's. Sausage biscuits, 2 or 3, pancakes, butter, jelly, strawberry on the hamburger. Fun. Lunch, dinner, 2 hamburgers, deli, great. His lottery tickets at the gas station with the judgmental Arabs over there that are connected to the McDonald's. CVS to get Ice Mountain and a liter of water, and so to go pay some money on his AT&T bill for his phones at the tobacco shop off 39th in Illinois. Yeah, that's just one day with him. We will get it. Faith has a lot to do with it. And as does honor, respect, what's right, And what's love? And God. And of course, God is speaking and encouraging breathing exercises, and that's where it ends.
Okay, so oftentimes, and you know it's true, the man's to blame, but not giving his just due. I get and understand the beauty of a woman carrying a child, giving birth, but the baby doesn't get there alone. I mean, for real, just understand the biology of the baby is simple. It comes from the father. If you know anything about biology, you know that I'm the reason he's the mess. So I'm even the reason he even has offspring. You ask how? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you why. It's important to ask. See, the thing is, it's important to ask the question the right way. All right. See, I'm the Y, not the WHY, but the letter Y, as in chromosome. That's what I passed that made him a baby boy. So it also gives him the ability to create life. So before anyone gives credit to the obvious, know that yes, she grew life. Now taking that but I have him. Okay, life so to be who he is. So I'm not bragging. I'm just claiming my just due as a father. You see those eyes? Yeah, the green ones. Yeah, okay. It took two. You hear me? Feel me though? It took two. What's happening? No one, had two R's, whatever, got it right. It took two. So look, I know the act of parenting and father, being a parent can be different, but there are admittedly, gaps in my relationships with him, but I know no matter the mistakes I made, he was not a mistake. Maybe a mishap, but hey, you ever had a mishap that turned into good fortune? Yeah. Well, me too. He's my fortune. I'm fortunate. Feel me? So, because he was born, that made me victorious.
Come on now.
That's it.
I am
Okay.
That's ginger ale.
Apple juice. That was part of mine.
I had wrote a poem called "Change Gonna Come." When the change gonna come.
Change gonna come. Tell me.
All right, we'll get it later. But there's a particular verse in there. I was conceived in secret, born into lies, been trying to run now, seeking the way, remake fate and strides. Pop says, hold up, go back. No, that's not it. That's it though. But in that instant, it was that he recognized in that long song that was actually a conversation with me and Michael Jackson. His story about change, me and Tupac. His story about change, me and Sam Cooke. His story about change. And my father was able to pick up on that part that related to him. And being the firstborn child to Victor Glover, that's a whole nother story. But it has been one interesting metaphysical story that cannot be denied. He wore this ring once, and he found it fit for me to have it, almost like I've been donned. I didn't see him smack somebody before. Don't worry, I ain't gonna smack nobody tonight. Prayerfully.
Great.
But it was how we came together, the way we came together, and how he's really never even actually left since October 12th. But there was a lot that he taught me. He was a jack of all trades, and he taught me what he could. Taught me what he could. It's evident that things do happen for a reason, and I just go along with them every day in which I'm breathing. And life brings me in the path. I meet some folks that pretend to be saints, but when you take off that mask, they ain't really nothing but heathens. And so when I come in a conjunction of minds who always function outside of the box because they see all that bullshit that they try to pass off as roses. But see, I fucks with real cats that understand and keep an axe for these motherfucking Pinocchios because it's time to start cutting off these fuckers' noses. And I suppose this was supposed to happen. As soon as I seen who came about the basement, Damon, like it was Rap City, yeah, this shit was supposed to be about us laughing and basking about the times of the past because the future is not promising. If you begin to ask me why, Saturday morning, I was out to have a good time down in New Orleans, but the first thing I did was step outside and I began to cry. Why? Shit, I lost my guy. Stuff, Woody.
No, he wasn't my father by any means, but he knew that I couldn't be father just by the things that he says and that he can instill. But these words came from the heart, and so when you speak to people, then especially people that you love, then you make sure that you give them something that they can feel. You can take with them and plant as a seed. We all bleed the same red. We all got the same brains was in our head. It's just how we use this thought. That's why I fuck with Dre. And ultimately, that's why I fuck with you. And then so I can't help but to fuck with Vic right over here, because technically I'm his part too. Or he's part of this one. It's the reason why they don't want us to really know the truth behind the Son. The Father. Fucked up, but it's true. And that's just how I do. This is my oath in which I give, but it's given to me, so I must give to you. I can't tell you about everything of Mr. Hotep or this, that, or that, whatever that's clever. I just tell you my current moment of truth, and that is, I like to talk this way. This is how, and soon what he's about to say, Father,
I'm one generation from the plantation, and I've lived my life so my son would never have to face the shit that I've been facing. Now he's the third generation, raising his two seeds. I hope he's there to give his children everything that they need, and they listen to everything and take heed. But I look at him every day, and I admire his face, and say, that's my contribution to this fucking race. I don't think of this shit. That's just the way that I spit, and you can't get much more realer than that. Shit, take that shit, put it up under your hat.
Put it up under your hat. I didn't think I was going to take it back. If I'm just a robber out here robbing, then I'm dealing with the bat. You got to face the facts.
Shit.
We got our own league of justice.
Oh, it's funny though. He goes to spit sometimes, and it fucks me up when he says shit in a rhyme that he doesn't realize that we are the same mind. So sometimes it comes back just as the same kind.
Same vibe.
And he like, damn, Pops, you. I mean, shit, you just asked me to say what I feel, so of course it's going to come across as the real. Mm-hmm. You know? And that's funny, though, because I was not around my son coming up. And people tried to put distance between us. But what's meant to be, just like on that Star Wars, you know what I'm saying? We're talking light years, constellations, but yet still a father in the dark side. This man's wearing white, but yet still they come back. You can't keep that away. They might try to, but here we are. My firstborn. Okay? And I'm not upset at all. Now he's got two.
Amen. Yeah. Amen.
Victory.
Gifts he left behind. Gifts of people. Gifts of knowledge. Gifts of wisdom. Gifts of knowing where the hell you at, especially when you're on East 10th Street. On the dime. He left a mess, man. That wouldn't be Victor Glover if he did.
I always got to do something his way. You know, say, son, just come on through. You know what I'm saying? That we can go on up the street. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop.
Then he get to, you know what I'm saying, talking with his hands. Say, so let me break it down for you first of all, because with the knowledge, because so most people don't think with an impeccable mind. But see, me, I've lived 3 lifetimes. Let me break down the mathematics for you. See, when you begin to circulate everything and then you put it in a certain manner in which is understood under the science, you can look this up. This is biblical. This is 360 degrees. All right, the rotation around the sun. What do you think that halo is for? Okay, feel me? All right, see, most people think because I'm hood, I'm not good with Christ, and that's completely opposite. Okay. He would say, "What's up, little sexy dude?" He out of all my moments with him, my favorite was when I got married. And jitters. And you see how my cousins get down, so who gonna be there? And I was like, I don't care, but Pop's gotta be there. Cause I need you to show up today. And I really didn't have no doubt in the mind, but then, we on the delay and everything. I'm like, oh gosh. And I'm back pacing. My groomsmen were back there. I'm just kind of pacing. Next thing you know, I think I was just having anxiety, and it was just like, he came in through the wrong door. But it was the right door. Because when he came through, me and him, we just like locked eyes. And and I keep that with me all day. Every day since, every second since. You got it, Eric. I don't know. Vengeance like this? Rage? Like this? He never made it to this stage. But like many others, found his demise indicated by a pile of teddy bears. Nah, these teddy bears remind me nothing of the cute and cuddly Care Bears I grew up loving in the 80s, like the ones given to cheer up and have a better day. Now they feel like they serve as tombstones when the last breath was blown. They are teddy bears, I know. But I've seen far too many outside my home decorating the nearest pole, covered around the ground as high as it can go. And these teddy bears prayed for rain to serve as tears for the little bro, who was only 9 years old, ages 1 to 94. Seems like they serve a reminder of our nightmares and a kind reminder of hope. And when it rains, they soak and hang around and choke us as a reminder that life gets heavy. Holding this hatred and heart, decorating the land. Mother's tears create tsunamis while a child murderer walks around town with a gun in their hands. Too many people are cool with teddy bears to pose, representing the number of kids dropping out of school. The number of teddy bears to pose are growing faster than the members of the church. Lord, let the Holy Spirit move. More praying hands in the forms of emoji signs, while teddy bears are becoming more evidence of communities losing worth. So down goes the value, up goes the vindication in the city of the 500. But I literally see all these influences racing in the minds of the next generation. So we continue to witness this stagnation. Teddy bears will begin to cover this nation. Oh wait. They already have. A reminder that all lives matter, but particularly black. Overwhelmingly black. And teddy bears don't count money like penitentiaries do, but teddy bears, they do connect to the math that cemeteries use teddy bears. Oh wait, they said they still trying to find the murderers from last year with a hope and a wish. Well, I hope they understand that everybody in the hood know what's good in the hood, so they swear by their life on don't snitch. So when the shoe is on the other foot, you can't be surprised that you get what you give. I mean, teddy bears, that is. I mean, fallen kids that get no chance to live and no chance to see that Care Bears used to be about fantasy. Now, teddy bears remind us well of a community's insanity. We have been paying the cost. Numb have we become? This just in, my friends. As blatant as could be, another murdering officer gets off. Mother's tears shared to the flood. More teddy bears get tossed. So wait, this just in. 18-year-old mother to be found slayed. 16-year-old found sprayed in alleyway. 50-year-old ran over and decapitated. This just in. 6 people shot, 1 dead. Fatal weekend, no murderer found. Man killed on his wedding day. Murder homicide. The kids were 6 and 5. Woman shot by a cop at her home. Local activists not coming home. Local coach not coming home. This just in. 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 When will this just end? Just in.
The strength of my shoulders was built on life. Imagine the mythical character Atlas as he tries to bear the weight of the world on his shoulders and replace his face with mine. Yeah, sometimes that's how I feel. I look in the mirror and I see my shoulders, my arms, my legs, and I absolutely feel strong. Maybe in your eyes it's my athleticism. It could be, but I believe it to be many things. It's lifting the burdens of a fragile life. It's lifting the swiftness of life's fleeting years. It's watching the youth of your elders fade like days fade tonight. It's lifting them off the floors of their own homes. It's lifting their illnesses, their treatments, their caregiving, them. Those who are called to bear the burden aren't called because they are physically strong. It's heart strength that gets the job done. There are tears that will be shed, sleepless nights to endure, Knees will be scraped, and eyes will be blackened. Just be beat. Like a prize fighter, I rose to the occasion and took every punch I could. I punched back a few times just to stay in the ring. Just like a real fight, there are rounds. Some rounds I came out on top and others I fell short. I'd get to the corner and consult with my my trainer. And somehow, I would have the nerve and the will to step back in the ring. When the final bell rang and the fight was over, I was declared the winner. If you saw me, you wouldn't think I won. Hell, I didn't feel like I won. Because of what I had to lose to be crowned champ. Thing is, I'm no champ. In the fights where I had to bear the burden, when that burden was released, my heart took a blow. It shattered. The burden wasn't easy, but at least I could lift it. I could feel it. And now I have these strong shoulders. But I also have tears that come like waves.
I did not speak with a therapist. I did speak to a therapist over Zoom. When asked, how are you feeling at this moment? Felt my father reply from 2 years before he died and even cried something to the sound of, I swear to God, suicide was on my mind. Put it right between the eyes, then heard my children's cries. Looking straight up in the skies made me find the fight to want to live and achieve with the wisdom inside. My world of rage combined with pride, with lust and wrath on the path to destruction, mother laugh at attempts of destruction, Joker glad in dysfunction. I heard his tears fall and burn. When asked now how I'm doing, I don't say anything formal. It's like you gotta lie these days to be normal. Bite for blood to my tongue if I dare utter, I'm okay. I'm fine. These words anchor lies. Don't really feel much inclined to reply. Hurt still remains in measures, broken pieces inside. I want to cry before each reply. Thinking of where I've taken my mind since my big homie died. Stood above his blood in a downtown alley now gentrified over on Talbot. Since my father died. Stood and sat in his blood stain after it dried in his home over on Jefferson, now gentrified. In such circumstances, I recognized this was the last place a breath was taken. Breath. The ancient art is sacred and the effect has been butterflied. I've died a handful of times. I know it's coming. I'm crucified asking God, why? If it be your will, let my blood spill. No pride of mine will deny. Save a place for me by your side. I know what's been imparted inside. So when I'm asked how I'm doing, I hope you have the time to hear me sing, I've had some good days.
Come on. Yeah.
I've had some hills to climb. I've had some
weary days.
And some sleepless nights. But when I look around and think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days. I won't complain. And that's just to keep my spirit sustained. And enough grace to remain sane. I'll be one to say, even fresh after a gospel song, please, please leave me the hell alone.
Yeah.
Leave me alone and keep my wife's name out your goddamn mouth. Respectfully. Trust. Ain't nothing to boast about being proud to be okay. Don't even ask me. I showed with a fresh mask just to get over the day over, privately spoke over my father's lifeless body while his spirit gripped my shoulder. Thought we had time to amend it all when we both got older, rocking rings, canes, and chains, connected by blood in a middle name, Wayne. Realized we were the same when it came down to the little things. If you catch me laughing, don't be fooled and thinking I forgot what happened. I'm laughing to keep from crying. Nah, I'm laughing to keep from dying.
Yeah.
I keep my kids right up under my heart, let them anchor me in this yang. Ever stop to ponder perhaps we have too much ambition in how we accessorize life, but rarely focus reverently on what's actually relevant. So yes, I move in waves, on waves, surfing in the courses of many courses set for us. Do you know how many faces you make to cover grief? How do you make split decisions with your facial muscles between tears and smiles, giving your best, clock in, and you got 5 minutes left? Know how long a 15-minute drive is when you cry the whole time? Been heavy on the back and hips. When grief comes and lays, feels like I drag 100-pound ankle weights walking around all day on gravel, all day between sane and pain. I battle, drew myself in an open cage made of jagged bars years ago. Now here I lay unraveled, moving in waves, constantly staring into it deeply, breathing into its depth. It breathes into me back, enormous, with all this joy and pain. Enormous is the surge of all this rage, walking peacefully along its bay. Enormous, but rage gonna be rage. Yes, I get mad and have anger, but it does not mean that anger has me.
Come on.
Waves. Pops say, his pops will say, now let me take and tell you something. You see, it take a wise man to play the fool, but the fool can play the wise man. Can't play the wise man because you got to be wise to begin with. And I begin with the protection of the elder's knowledge. And his sources move like waves and dare not be upstaged by foolish ways. Not too many slips and mistakes, so plan to stay 10 steps ahead and seek first to understand. I've sat on many porches soaking in what the elders know and where they've been. Everything from fighting with hands, battling demons within, and discernment in what they would and wouldn't do again. Look straight in the eyes of poetic legends and hear their words when I found myself in my own hell. This deep, dark well, only to realize I got a story to tell. In ways, been broken and charred, yet I summon bars from God to speak on these scars by the waves. I've been boxed and bubbled between the broken pieces flowing in the whole of my being. Days be like Groundhog Day. Days go by so fast, I can't make out what I'm seeing. Stars that's spoken to me directly. Most days where I'm not sleeping, steady fleeing into the rising sun, into the moon, turning off the news. Little boy shot, gone too soon. Multiple ODs and robberies in one afternoon. Kids being constantly molested and ignored like can't nobody know that. Watching the trauma in these kids unchecked, instigated with hatred, so the world got to deal with the blowback. Seems like if life is disrespected, seems like life is disrespected as if death ain't a reminder that you don't go back. Seems like people really knew that grace is an action. They wouldn't do that. Me, I'm just moving from street to streets, to hugs, to graves. And somewhere in between, I've been in and out, calm and enraged, abundantly surfing within these waves. Before I came here, sang Omega Dear for my dear brother, Dr. Alan Bacon. He was not a part of this show last Friday. This is one of the finest Omega men out there. Taught me He taught me, man, don't stray too far from Jesus, man. He said, really, you just might want to go ahead and hold his hand because, Brother Saunders, there's something in you. He had this voice, sound like a whole, if his voice was like Sanu of God. And we gathered around his casket today, 80 strong, brothers from all over the country. That's the kind of impact he had. I just wanted to highlight him because I came straight from his service to here. And he meant so much to us. But you keep moving forward. Right? Right?
Yes.
Keep moving forward and we keep moving upward. Through it all. Something about James such and this and that in the Bible. Enduring all trials. Be a good soldier. Endure all trials. Endure all trials like a good soldier. Endure all hardships. The trials come to test your faith. You know, I don't know if y'all know this, man, but I'm 40 years old. And this is how I celebrate. You know, and I've been in the light, I've been in the dark, and most of y'all been with me either way. And I remember in COVID, my father popped up on my birthday. We was in COVID. He popped up in the driveway. He said, "What? You think I wasn't gonna come see you on your birthday?" Well, shit. I was like, wow. We sat in that car and everything, man. He gave me so much stuff, man. Some stuff he was giving to me because he thought he was about to go to jail. Here's something, man. You want these nickels? Like that was from like 1923. And some $7 in there. You want these lions, these sculptures? I was like, what else? Here, take this read. Here, get that to the kids. Gave me a lot, man. He gave me a harp. Found it. A bunch of medical supplies. Me and my wife just finally cleaned up out the garage. All this. But he gave me something about these shoes, man. Yeah. Yeah. These shoes I rock and wear. Purple and black Air Force One size 10s I got to wear. These shoes make me feel like my papa here, so I look down and often stare and become amused that when hit his blues, my father gave me these shoes and grabbed him a pair to match. He would still be here to hear me speaking this truth, but unfortunately his life got snatched, not by cancer's grip or heart attack, but set up, robbed then, instantly creating a Batman in me and Robin in my sister Robin. Folks he trusted enough to be in his living room inside of his home, yet left it there to die alone for hours in his house where he subsided. Interesting thing is, his wisdom never died. We wear it with pride. On the other side of my eyes, I feel him reaching my spirit saying, son, you as perfect as you are, so don't just stand in these shoes. Stand tall. Don't just give your all. Don't just give and live by these lessons. Turn knowledge to wisdom, wisdom to discretion. Yes, pray, but be a blessing. Never lessen yourself for anyone's perception. Walk your path, son. No matter the richness of imperfections, decisions will have to be made. Can't always stumble around constantly confessing. You can either keep stressing or you can stay on top like dressing. You're a big deal, so stay making a come up like the sun does or a blue pill erection. You may have to walk through hell and deal with these insurrections. So if anything stands in your way, son, just walk over it and through. And if any fool try to play you with ignorance, collect their minds for your collection. So with these shoes, first and only J's I got from my pop at 36 years of age. Ironic how MJ lost his father in a similar way, so I comprehend the rage. Might as well fly as well over those that don't get it and give you a condescending face. I got a story to these shoes. You rock fresh shoes, but what's the story? I mean, your kicks look nice, but your personality is born. And when you get to talking, Lord, you follow the crowd, seeking attention, demanding we search you. What direction are you walking? Better yet, who hurt you? I know who hurt me. And my father told me, it's fucked up, but it's true. Because technically I'm his part too. A porter for his vision to come through. But you earned it and it's cool. Buy your shoes. Crease, don't crease. Have fun. Do you laugh? And as for me, my father, my dad, I'll cherish this gift he bestowed onto me to have. And I'll have these shoes until my time here ceases to be. And at least when it was asked how I walked through these obstacles I was faced with, I could stand bold. 2 feet, 10 toes. And I could reply easily.
Whoa.
I want to thank my production team, starting with my wife. My twin, Nikki, where you at? Up there, Nikki. My wife and pretty much the maestro back here. Also, I want to thank Eddie Miles over here. He's our visual artist. You know, oh no, man. A lot of times I was going through, man. We was just sitting talking. I would just read. He would just let me read poetry to him. So I appreciate you just being on the stage. I want to thank our videographer. I want to thank Frank Stone, who just stepped in and said, "Bro, I got you." I want to thank Space Jones, Joshua Smith, for the music that you heard today. So, let's just have the ENJ team version. I love y'all. Thank y'all for showing up for me.
We love you.
For real.
Well, she's get that drawn. I'll encore you with one more poem.
Come on, Homer.
We're gonna get a picture of this. When the change gonna come, tell me. When the change gonna come, when the change gonna come, tell me. Let me dedicate this to Dr. Muffet because he helped me work on this. When the change gone. Took a look in the mirror, decided to change my ways, and on the top space on the page, I wrote, I'm amazing. Full comprehension of the maze I play in, can't disregard hands holding cups for chains when for change they're craving. It's still cold, Mike, and wind blows right in your face with Mike. Humans are scarred with hate for life. Widows still fear they will tears not come home at night. And nightmares walk around in broad daylight, no matter if you're black or white. Broken glass and streets gentrified as we the peephole. Watch new doors of lies be divided while we're being watched through the peepholes. It seems I can reach my dreams with a love supreme. Can inspire victims of a systematic scene to keep chasing their dream, especially when it seems there's never enough hope and clean food to eat with. Alternative to dreams is what we've been deleted. So by the glittering glow of my soul, I say oppose control. Take space back then, rise to the change challenge undefeated. The mirror you gaze in says you're amazing. Take up your shine, embrace the divine. Change one mind at a time. Earn the crown you seek with the purpose you find. And when the change gonna come, tell me. When the change gonna come. When the change, come on everybody. Tell me. When the change gon' come, when the change gon' come, tell me, when the change gon' come. come. Drum roll, please. When the change gonna come. Tell me, when the change gonna come. Lucky lottery number 5334821.
Tickets out here.
5334821.
Oh my goodness.
I knew it.
Y'all give it up for Chef Oya. Y'all give it up for Chef Oya, owner of the Trap right there on 34th. All right.
Yeah.
And y'all want a hug, man? All right, I know we got to get up out of here, baby. Any other things we need to do now?
Mr. forgot his major presentation. Me in Pieces, book by Eric Dwayne Saunders, will release on May 26th.
Oh.
Under Stages and Pages, under our publishing arm. Actually, in Stages and Pages, actually own Sammy Lou, which is where I publish. So, but
Yes, so right now.
you can pre-order next week.
Right
Okay. We will make sure, and you will have an opportunity to get a signed copy because we are set up at Melanin in May.
Here we go.
I ain't waiting that long.
You don't have to, but you know we want to be respectful of the theater, respectful of the time. Thank you guys so much for supporting this.
Thank you for supporting the Dark Stages. This is what it is.
Frank.